Above all nations, a brand rooted with our heritage in mind. Featuring the Babylon Has Fallen hoodie, this mighty piece is a bold statement describing the times we're living in. Also perfect for keeping warm while standing firm in your faith. You won't be able to miss the vibrant Song of Solomon tee, inspired by Song of Solomon 1 and 10, a piece that represents our royal heritage that the Most High gave us. Head over to aboveallnations.shop to grab yours now. They're moving fast. That's aboveallnations.shop. Kwame Yashrala.
I hope y'all like that. That was Supplication by Roy the Chef. It's dangerous out here. I hope you guys make it home safe.
Why is she evil? Because like, yeah, they just say shit to us. Nah, she just say evil for us. Like, she's just crazy. Yeah, like he's saying. Yo, check it out. You ain't worry about that. They're gonna show you at the end. So that was that a knocking out that 1 minute. That's probably.
Yo, what was that about? Don't worry about it. You wouldn't understand.
Oh man, what the fuck going on, Scooter?
Soldier Yappa. Side rank 2. Let's get it. When you bought to a lower state, you must learn to be patient. You come to serve the Lord, prepare your soul for temptation. Who trusted Yah was misled and not past generations. No one forsaken, you mistaken if you ain't obeying. No lying on no tale bearing. Get thee behind me, Satan. That's my brother, no bloodshed. Get thee behind me, Satan. No idolatry, no adultery. Get thee behind me, Satan. I can't deal with my brother false. Get thee behind me, Satan. seem like a never end the war between flesh and the spirit. I heard that voice say this the way, I pray my loved ones hear it. I'm treating sin like it got cooties, don't wanna get near it. If not pertaining to the Father, I'm sorry, I'm fearless. Don't take a left turn all right when it's a narrow path. You keep the law, you get the kingdom, I can simple math. Boast in your house all day on Hamashiach's behalf. Deny the mark of the beast, or drink from the cup of wrath. Keep your spirit pure, practice on fasting and praying. You will say you must multiply your faith and your patience. Love thy neighbor as thyself, don't never betray me. And if you're tempted, pray and say, get thee behind me, Satan. When you brought to a lower state, you must learn to be patient. You come to serve the Lord, prepare your soul for temptation. Who trusted Yah was misled in our past generations. No one forsaken, you mistaken if you ain't obeying. No lying on no talebearing. Get thee behind me, Satan. That's my brother, no bloodshed. Get thee behind me, Satan. No idolatry, no adultery. Get thee behind me, Satan. I can't deal with my brother false. Get thee behind me, Satan.
I'ma do it how I laws, I got my faculties. And every single precept make my point to value these. Example, humble me, I'm grounded like what gravel be. We law about in any shirt with fringes, that's my casualty. Revelation say the savior color copper be our own. Hate your kind, but front them crackers, copper please. Fall balance, abomination to God, so now obviously. Give you fair warning, don't try that angle, that's our size of lead. Off the muscle, not one to just watch it suffer. Don't be respect of persons, any wise rebuke your brother. Prepare myself for tribulations, that which worketh patience. No thinking about being grimy, get thee behind me, Satan. Get thee behind me, Satan.
When you brought to a lower state, you must learn to be patient. You come to serve the Lord, prepare your soul for temptation. Who trusted Yah was misled in our past generations. No one forsaken, you mistaken if you ain't obeying. No lying on no talebearing. Get thee behind me, Satan. That's my brother, no bloodshed. Get thee behind me, Satan. No idolatry, no adultery. Get thee behind me, Satan. I can't deal with my brother false. Get thee behind me, Satan.
Eat money.
Yeah. All of my sins take away from me. Save me from myself, save a place for me. Help me keep your laws, keep them faithfully. And Father, even if I fall, make a way for me. Yeah. All of my sins take away from me. Save me from myself, save a place for me. Help me keep your laws, keep them faithfully. And Father, even if I fall, make a way for me. Yeah, keep me in the palm of your mighty hands. Father, don't let me fall. False excuses, know you heard them all. Could've ignored me, but you heard my call. And you refused to let your servant fall. You know that rolling, keep on calling. Every now and then I get withdrawals. Man, they hit different when your sense the center of it all. Have you forget about that time you violated laws? And you needed Abba to forgive you, he forgave it all. That's why I pray that you remember me for memories that made you smile and not the ones that made you judge the least. Father, I pray that when you raise up out that judgment seat, that you see it fit for me to reign with you above the beast. But at the least, all of my sins take away from me. Save me from myself, save a place for me. Help me keep your laws, keep them faithfully. And Father, even if I fall, make a way for me. Yeah, all of my sins take away from me. Save me from myself, save a place for me. Help me keep your laws, keep them faithfully. And Father, even if I fall, make a way for me. Yeah, even if I fall, I know he in charge. The great shepherd of the sheep, I know he hear my voice. He gave me life for death, for real, I don't deserve a choice. Took all of those things that was against me, then he made it void. I say, yeah, how was shine? Follow me down these wicked roads, don't let that drama slide. Cause it's been written on them scrolls right when they prophesied. And it don't matter how it goes, you never left my side, even though I should've died. Why? But your grace is sufficient. Look how you took my wicked mind and different place was missing. Look how you took my spirit blind and then you gave me vision. Even though I was out of line, I refused to listen. You gave me wisdom. That's why all of my sins take away from me. Save me from myself, save a place for me. Help me keep your laws, keep them faithfully. And Father, even if I fall, make a way for me. Yeah. All of my sins take away from faithfully. And Father, even if I fall, make a way for me. Yeah.
They got to get with the Devon Denham team, man. They got to get with the Devon Denham team.
Get right and get left, you heard?
Yeah, he got the whole set on.
Denham, man, get right.
Y'all got to get with it. Let me see the back of that joint again. Oh, my God.
And his friends,
Come on, dog.
That's the one.
Y'all got to get with the right team. Yeah.
Welcome to Pillars of Rest, where you can find special material for our sisters, by our sisters. This is a Sons of Thunder exclusive platform focused on building, encouraging, uplifting, and engaging with the daughters of Zion. Here you'll find personalized and interactive content geared towards showing what it truly means to be a pillar of rest. Interviews, scripture breakdowns, tips on motherhood, marriage, and testimonials are just the beginning of the many things to learn from and enjoy in this program.
Thank you for watching. If you would like to support the body, you can donate via Cash App, PayPal, or Zelle. We are the Sons of Thunder. It's our heart's prayer and desire for Israel that they might be saved.
Yo. Yeah. Say what's real.
My father figure keep me guided, I'm always protected. Not a single wrong, I don't ever get corrected. Light over my shoulders, tales from a priest. Take a Psalms 23 and sit your tail to a seat. Legendary in a way, but nothing like a tall tale. False God, set them up, they all fell. Fantasies, they all sell. Nothing in my time can compare to the timeless. The light behind my rhyme and the one who I get in line with. Ain't no other lane for this fire flame minister. Descended from a higher plane, ain't no higher name from the one. When a gun jam, I figure you know now. Divine power follow me, that's just how it be. I can testify for sure, my heart not pure, but still I get to see a day that I did not work for. Bodies dropping with the climate, gas raising on black faces. Still I'm the one who made it. I just be thinking when I roll, something keep watching me. Something keep watching me. The Most High. Something keep watching me. Something keep watching me. I feel like everywhere I go, something keep watching me. Something keep watching me. The Most High. With my conscience, I acknowledge that there is a higher power. Look at me. False idols never promise victory. You survive cause you was meant to. Stop the guessing, you a prized possession. Blessing from the sky, ain't no higher lesson. I'm a messenger, you should get with this rhythm. Gospel, you ain't gotta be poor with chains no more. Flip up your master plate, don't be captivated by your master space. The earth is yours, but first the one we know gon' have to pass away. Destiny, you part of a higher design. They tell me the sight of his eyes like fire and wine. Coming at the wild child who made it through the birth canal. One shot, amazing how you missed the kiss of death. Life was in your step, people turned away from out this way, never coming back. Slipped and fell inside the cracks, landed on their back, but you 10 toes in the field, still in one piece, for real from the bottom, where all kind of brothers get easily killed. Rest in peace to them. You part of a higher design. They tell me the sight of his eyes like fire and wine. When I roll, something keep watching me. Something keep watching me. The Most High. Something keep watching me. Something keep watching me. I feel like everywhere I roll, something keep watching me. Something keep watching me. Most High. I said something keep watching.
You're not a race. You are a virus. You destroy the world. Everything beautiful you poison. You drag us from our homes. You rape our daughters, murder our sons. You crack our spines and do all you can to break our will. You stab us. Then you put the knife in our hand and tell us it's our fault. And if you don't do it yourself, you stand by, close your eyes, and pretend there's nothing wrong. And then you pray to your God to silence our screams so that you can enjoy the happiness that we built for you with our blood. But it's not your fault. It's the only way you know how to be. And the only thing that will change anything is if another virus comes along and does to you what you do to us.
Shalom, shalom, Yasha Allah, shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
Welcome to Conversation for the Nation. All right, we got an interesting topic to talk about this evening. Hey, I apologize for the delay. And me and the brothers was getting some things together. I was talking to the elder, okay, and a brother, Captain Shalama, he wanted me to make sure I introduced our new First Fruits flyers. All right, to get you brothers and sisters in preparation for the Feast of First Fruits, which is going to take place June the 7th at evening. We want to see brothers and sisters in the building, okay? All right, we want to see you all and children in the building for the Feast of First Fruits. All right, if you're interested in gathering with the Sons of Thunder Israelites for the Feast of First Fruits, email us at sotfeastday@gmail.com. You see it right there on the screen. Email us at sotfeastday@gmail.com. Let us know how many people you're going to bring with you. That way we can accommodate you, okay, with seating, okay, food, and most importantly, the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem HaMashiach. Yahweh Shai. Khan? Okay. All right. Also, we got our feast day calendar right here to our front. All right. We got the new moon third month, May the 26th. I say that again, May the 26th at evening. We're going to meet up in Atlanta, Georgia for the new moon third month. Okay. Do the same thing. Send us an email at sotfeastday@gmail.com. All right. Send that same information. How many people you're going to bring with you? That way we can accommodate you, brothers and sisters. Okay. Feast of Simon Maccabees, May the 19th at evening. Okay. I'm not sure if we're going to gather for that. We may just put out a lesson and we'll keep you all informed. Okay. I was talking to Adawan about that the last time I seen him. We got to gather for that. Okay. We'll let you all know. Okay. We'll let you all know. Khan? All right. The media and history. The media and how about I say his story. Okay? The media and his story has us destroyed, brothers and sisters. Okay? Hey, I saw the sister Roxanne Judah. As a matter of fact, hey, sisters, congratulations on your upgrade. All right, with membership. All right, the sister's been rocking with us for a little while now. She upgraded on her membership. I saw that on the tab. Okay, all praise to the Most High, Bahashima Mashiach, Yahweh Shai. All right. Hey, that's the thumbnail. She gave a shout out to the thumbnail. The media and his story has us destroyed. Okay, yes, it's gravitating to our youth, but as we cipher through this, we're going to see how brothers and sisters who are, of age, all right, who may be elder, okay, who already have a little bit of knowledge, how they're destroyed, right?
That's
And
right.
it's affected by his story and the media. When I say the media, okay, when I say the media, this is what I mean by that, okay? See, these devils done figured out, if you want to hide something from a Negro, hey, put that thing in a book, okay? They done figured that thing out. Hey, I'll go to social media, to X, to IG, to Facebook, and I'll spew out a false narrative. And guess what? The Israelites are going to believe it because they're just followers. That's all the Israelites are. Okay? That's why the Most High classifies us as lost sheep. Okay? We're lost sheep. The Most High don't just call us Israelite. He don't just call us lost sheep. All right, just for the fun of it. Okay? He's very clever, right? In the way he words things. All right, we're lost sheep. All right? We're without a shepherd. And we're following and believing everything that we hear. Okay? And I'm going to show you just how destroyed we are today or this evening. Huh?
All
right? It's ridiculous when you really think about it. All right? Hey, today something caught my attention. I was talking to the brother Daniela. All right? Our brother Daniela. He's our media guy. Okay? We got a slew of media dudes, but Daniela, he does a lot of work for us. Okay? And while I was talking to Daniela about the thumbnail and the topic of discussion today, I came across information that I was oblivious to. I kind of closed myself off to the world and news during the week, Yasha Allah. Okay, so a lot of things be catching me off guard. Okay, I was just talking to the brothers earlier today, okay, about how, do you know, since the Rodney Hitton Jr. situation that took place, about a week and a half ago, right? They've started pushing the narrative to pardon Derek Chauvin. If I'm not saying his name right, hey, please help me out. They've started pushing the narrative to pardon Derek Chauvin, however you want to say his name. This is the guy that killed out Salakia, that unalived our brother. Okay, this is the guy that unalived our brother George Floyd. Okay, this narrative is being pushed, and I'm saying to myself, how? Okay, there's a lot of doggone scrutiny out here because these devils is pissed off. Okay, these devils is pissed off. Okay, that the brother Rodney Hitton Jr. Okay might have, okay, or allegedly took justice into his own hands. Now a narrative is being pushed, by politicians, family. Politicians. Your known politicians that you see on Fox News, okay, amongst other channels, right? MSNBC, CNN. They're pushing the narrative to free or pardon Derek Chauvin. And it gets under the skin of our people. Okay, starts an uproar. All right, our people start going back and forth. All right, and incites violence. Okay, at least that's the goal. Okay? Pay attention to what's going on. Okay, pay attention to what's going on. The Most High stirring this thing up, He's really stirring this thing up. Okay, and it's very interesting. All right, if brothers and sisters didn't catch the audio, okay, that we put on display a second ago. I'm gonna go ahead and play it again with video. I wanted y'all to hear that as we came in. All right. I wanted y'all to hear that as we came in, because this is how a lot of brothers and sisters feel. Fair use, fair use. Fair use, fair use. Show me some love in the chat. Okay, we're not gonna keep you all night. Yasha Allah. Okay, we gotta get our point across, Con.
Con of the one.
All right, fair use, fair use.
You're not a race. You are a virus. You destroy the world. Everything beautiful you poison. You drag us from our homes. You rape our daughters, murder our sons. You crack our spines and do all you can to break our will. You stab us. Then you put the knife in our hand and tell us it's our fault. And if you don't do it yourself, you stand by, close your eyes, and pretend there's nothing wrong. And then you pray to your God to silence our screams so that you can enjoy the happiness that we built for you with our blood. But it's not your fault. It's the only way you know how to be. And the only thing that will change anything is if another virus comes along and does to you what you do to us. Fine.
All right, Con. Hey, I saw some chats, okay, in the group saying that there was feedback. Hey, I think it was because my mic wasn't plugged up. I had my printer plugged in not too long ago. Hey, can brothers and sisters hear me better now? Let me get some sevens in the chat if it's better, okay, if it's better. Or do you still hear feedback, brothers and sisters? All right, can you all see anything? All right, they say it's better. All praise to the Most High. All right, so you see our brothers speaking about the old Jedi mind trick. Okay, these devils have spewed, okay, a serious false narrative. Okay, our people take the bait all the time. Okay, and it has gone on from generation to generation to generation. Okay, I'm going to show you, brothers and sisters, exactly what I'm talking about as we move on to the Lieutenant Governor of Indiana. Okay, the Lieutenant Governor of Indiana had an interesting take on the 3/5 compromise. Okay, on the 3/5 compromise. I got this clip from old Roly Potent Martin. Okay, I know about that joker. Okay, a lot of our brothers be a little confused, man. They mean well. Our brothers and sisters got a zeal, but not according to knowledge. Okay, but I got a clip from old Roly Potent Martin talking about Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith from the state of Indiana. He has an interesting take on the 3/5 compromise. Listen to what he has to say. Okay, listen to what he has to say. And I want to hear you brothers and sisters take on this clip. I'm going to share my screen. That seemed to work a lot better last week when we shared the screen, okay, and played the videos versus the delay that we be having. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of do that today, and you brothers and sisters, let me know if that works. So this is Micah Beck right here. Okay, can y'all see that, brother? It's Salakia. He's not our brother, but can y'all see this man? Micah Beckwith. Can y'all see him? This is Lieutenant Governor.
Another one.
All right, come. Okay, so this is the guy we're talking about. He has a very interesting take on the 3/5 compromise, brothers and sisters. The 3/5 compromise. All right. Hate to be showing y'all all my material, okay? But here we go. Pay attention.
Salaki out of one. We can't hear it.
So y'all can't hear that?
It's kind of sounded distorted as well.
Say that again, Yazabat.
They sound distorted and we can barely hear. The volume is very low.
Okay. All right. So what we'll do is we'll just go ahead. I got them uploaded. Okay, I got them uploaded. I apologize, brothers and sisters. Let's stop the screen. Okay, and fair use, fair use. Show me some love in the chat. All right, show me some love in the chat.
Lawful discrimination bill. Senator Byrne is carrying that bill. It was in the Senate just a few minutes ago. Well, if you were watching or listening to the Senate, if you were trying to fall asleep and we're trying to get some good background noise on, you might have been listening. The Senate on the Democrat side, they got up and they started talking about how this bill embodies something to the effect of the three-fifths compromise. They were bringing that up. They were saying this is a bad bill because it actually encourages discrimination, just like the three-fifths compromise, going all the way back to the foundations of our nation. I would like to share with you the three-fifths compromise is not a pro-discrimination compromise. It was not a pro-discrimination or a slave-driving compromise that the founders made. It was actually just the opposite. It was a compromise that the North made with the South. At the time, there were basically 13 independent nations. They had not really created a constitution. They were sort of a European Union-esque nation, and they were saying to the pro-slave states, hey, if you want to count your slaves to have representation, more representation in Congress, we're not going to let you do that, because they knew that that would codify things like slavery into our nation. And the North stood up to the South, and they said, we're going to, if you're going to count your property, because the South says, hey, this is our property, but we want to count them in the congressional representation. We want to count them in the census. At the time, there was 30,000 people would equal one member of Congress. And so they said, we're going to count our slaves. We're going to get more members of Congress in the South. The North said, you can't do that. So what they came back to the South and they said, fine, if you want to count your property, your slaves, as whole people, we're going to count our property. We're going to count our tables. We're going to count our chairs. We're going to count all the stuff that we have in our house. And the South said, well, you can't do that. And they said, well, you're doing it with your property. We're doing it with our property. So what they did is they came up with a three-fifths compromise. They said, you will only get three-fifths of a vote when it comes to your slave. And what that did, it actually limited the number of pro-slave representatives in Congress by 40%. This was a great move by the North to make sure that slavery would be eradicated in our nation. They knew what they were doing. But now here you have Senate Democrats in today's American Republic who do not understand that. They think the three-fifths compromise was something that was a scourge on black people. That's not what it was. And how did we get to this place? We got to this place because of DEI in education. We got to this place because you have professors at woke schools that will not teach the history of what actually happened back in the foundations of our nation. Many men and leaders in our nation's history knew how wicked slavery was. They knew that God had created even black people, white people, red people, all people in his image, and they were fighting for equality for all. But they're not taught that today. And that's why you had the Senate Democrats who were getting up talking about the three-fifths compromise like it was some sort of terrible thing in our past. It was not. It actually was the exact opposite that helped to root out slavery and lead us into a more perfect union that we now see, where black, white, red, brown, all people can have equal representation under the law. That's what the three-fifths compromise was all about. So don't buy into the DEI radical revisionist history that is happening in today's culture. Know your history. Go back and study the documents. Read them for yourself like I have. Go look them up, and you will find that the three-fifths compromise and many other things like that were designed to make sure that justice was equal for all people and equality really...
All right, so I done heard enough from this devil, man. All right. So if you pay attention to what Governor Micah Beckwith is doing, what he's doing is trying to relate pieces of history that relates to the Israelites, okay? The so-called black man, right, who came over here via Atlantic slave trade. He's trying to relate those incidents in history and then change the narrative to implant those thoughts and understanding in our children and young people's minds. Okay? None of what he said made sense. Okay? If slavery was eradicated in 1865, okay, and the 3/5 compromise took place in what was it, 1770 something?
1787 out of one.
1787. Do that math for me. Do that math for me. On years. Was it like 78 years or something like that? Do that math for me. How many years? 1865 minus 1778, right? Somebody did to me. I just ain't trying to do it.
It's lucky the one. I got 87 years.
So 87 years went by. Your people were considered to be 3/5 of a human being, right? And it took 3 votes, 3 to 5 votes, right? 3 slaves represented 1 vote, all right, for the South states. That's how they looked at you, as a piece of property. And the thing is for 87 years, slavery still was going on. Okay? So how did this lead, the 3/5 compromise, how did this lead to the freeing of slaves? All right? How? It makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. It's just rhetoric. It's a facade. They're implanting these ideas and understanding in our people's mind, and we believe everything that we hear. Okay? Everything that we hear. All right? These devils, and go to Daniel chapter 7 and verse 25. The math ain't mathing, y'all. Okay? The math ain't mathing. It doesn't make no sense at all. Y'all got to watch this serpent. All right? Never trust your enemy. Okay? Give me that in Daniel chapter 7 and verse 25.
One out of one. This is the book of Daniel.
He said, at least he's color coordinated. Hey, go ahead, kid.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 25, and it reads, "And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High."
Daniel's prophesying of the great beast, okay, that European Union, okay? And he said that devil is going to speak great words against the Most High. When you understand the prophecies, all right, that are spoken about in the book of Obadiah and the book of Isaiah, okay, and how this devil was going to try to be like the Most High.
Another one.
Okay? He's going to speak great words against the Most High, and what?
And shall wear out the saints of the Most High.
The saints are the Israelites. Read on.
And think to change times and laws.
And think to change times. Okay? Times can be classified as history. All right? Times, your record. That could be classified as history. Times and laws. Okay? That's what these devils have done in the past, and that's what they're continuing to do today. The media in history has destroyed us, and they're continuing to destroy us. Okay? Your real history, I heard you. I'm going to let you chime in. Your real history is found in these 80 books. Okay? That's right, 80 books. You got to get the Apocrypha. Okay? The 14 books that was taken out, okay, by the Roman Protestants. Okay? You got to get that history, especially the Greek captivity. That's where your history starts. Okay? And it talks about your ending. Okay? Salakia, if you make the kingdom, there is no end. But it talks about your beginning. It talks about your true roots. Right? You're the Israelites. If you're a so-called black man who came over here via Atlantic slave trade, I'm talking about your ancestors. You got these brothers and sisters out here. All right. Hey, well, I ain't no slave. Okay, I didn't ride no boat. I wasn't oppressed. If your ancestors came over here via Atlantic slave trade, if you're descendants of the Native Americans, I'm talking about the real natives, not them $5 Indians, okay? And we're talking about the Hispanic Negroid descent, you're the Israelites on this side of the earth, okay? And your slavery is Salaki, your slavery, your history, okay, goes back here. When I say slavery in history, we were slaves in Egypt, okay? We were slaves to the Babylonians. Okay. Hey, go ahead, King. Somebody said Salaki.
Kind of the one that's got a precept of Job 13:4. And it reads, "But ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value." So this politician here just went lie after lie after lie. He tried to go back into history and lie, saying how they brought up 3/5 of a man was for property, but it was that was just to dig into us, making us less than a man. So he's lying. If his mouth is moving, he's lying. So he's the forger of lies. He's the devil that the Bible speaks of.
The devil that the Bible speaks of. And that's right. Hey, the brother soldier Awaria says that there's a new trend going on around on the internet where people are trying to claim the slave trade never happened. Honestly, hey King, that's not new. Okay. Especially coming from our youth. And we're going to talk a little bit about that today. I got a little clip in reference to what you're talking about. Okay. That very statement that our soldier I just made is what we're talking about. Okay. How the media, all right, to include social media, has such an influence on what our people believe. Okay. These devils know what to say.
All
right.
Salaki.
Go ahead, King.
Some of that stuff is coming from these TikTok shorts. They give you so much pseudo information through TikTok, and they'll just run with it because it's on TikTok and it went viral.
Right.
I yield on one.
That's right. Okay. It's getting bad out here, man. And that's the thing about it. As the Israelites, we got a mission. Okay. We got to continue to educate our people on our true history. Right. We got to continue to educate our people on the facts. All right. It don't get no more history than this. Okay. You talk to a lot of people, the majority of our people deal with the Christian faith, Christian religion. Well, if you're a Christian and you believe in the Bible, then we understand that history starts here. Okay. We understand that. And you got some pastors, all right, or leaders in the Christian church now starting to teach that we are the Israelites. You got a lot of so-called woke folk that believe we're the Israelites. Well, if you believe that, stop hanging your understanding of your history on the Atlantic slave trade. Huh?
All
right. All right. So look, hey, I got another politician, all right, or Fox News personality here. Fair use, fair use. Show me some love in the chat. All right. Kaylee, her name is Kaylee McAnnie. Kaylee McAnnie. I may be saying it right. I don't care. All right. But Kaylee McAnnie, she's a Fox News host, used to be who's that person that speaks on behalf of the president? What's that title?
Press secretary.
The press secretary. She used to be press secretary for Donald Trump. Okay. I want y'all to pay attention to what she had to say. It's real quick, so pay attention. Fair use, fair use. Fair use, fair use.
verbal fireworks over 4th of July. After some Democrats, left-wing activists, and even the news media smeared the all-American holiday with claims of racism. Squad member Cori Bush blasting Independence Day, tweeting, quote, "When they say that the 4th of July is about American freedom, remember this. The freedom they're referring to is for white people," while NPR took issue with the Declaration of Independence, calling it, quote, "a document with flaws and deeply ingrained hypocrisies." All this bashing leading to the New York Post front cover page, which read "Red, White, and Woke," with its editorial board asking, quote, "Why do liberals in the media take such joy in trashing America?" The haters never take a day off from hating, that is clear. And they never take a day off of getting the facts wrong. We know most of our forefathers, all of our main founding fathers, were against slavery, recognized the evils of it. There's a great piece to that end on Heritage called 1776, not 1619. But I'll leave it to you. You know, they're so wrong on so much. Where to begin?
All of the founding fathers were against slavery. That makes no sense at all. Okay? We know that George Washington himself had hundreds of slaves. Okay? Thomas Jefferson enslaved over 600 people. All right? James Madison had about 100 slaves as well. Okay, now look, the funny part about it, you got to research this. When they start talking about the Quakers, right? The people who settled here, when they start talking about them devils, right? Because they paint them out to be all sissified, okay? Sissified and nice and welcoming, all right? This, that, and the third, right? But those devils folded when they came to slavery. A lot of people think slavery was just in the South. All along the eastern seaboard, okay? All along the eastern coast, where the Quakers settled. Those devils had slaves too, to include William Penn. Look it up. I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna share my screen real quick. I looked this up today. All right, I looked this up today. Let me share my screen. We're gonna type in, did William Penn eventually have slaves? You got to put that eventually in there. All right, AI is very crafty. All right, I'm gonna share my screen, family. Fair use, fair use. We're gonna type this in. All right, y'all see my screen on Google right here? Can y'all see my screen?
All
right, look, I want you to look down here at the bottom. William Penn had slaves. This surprises many people, as it seems out of place in Pennsylvania, which is in the north, right? And inconsistent with the Quakers' belief. The first enslaved people came to Pennsylvania in 1640. By the time Penn arrived in 1682, slavery was well established in the area. Y'all see that narrative? Y'all see that narrative? For years, I was surprised by that. Hey, Salakia.
That's not what they teach in school.
Say again. That's not what they teach. Say that again, Cap. Say that again, Cap.
That's not what they taught me in school. They said he was a good white man.
The narrative has been changed. All right, and it's the reason why brothers and sisters, our age, man, right, all the way down to our children, are lost, man. And they'll argue you down, man. They'll argue you down, right? And they'll tell you, you know, that slavery, stuff like slavery didn't exist, or our oppression really wasn't that bad. Okay? When we got the artifacts, all right? And we got the history to prove it. All right. I'm old enough to speak to some elders that went through it. You know, I know Mike did. Okay. To actual slaves. Okay. I talked to a lot of people who were really, you know, dealing in the sharecropper era. Okay, a lot of my family down here in Warm Springs, Georgia, yeah, they dealt with a lot of sharecropping. Okay, toward the end of slavery. God,
Gone one.
All right, but I'm pretty sure Mike can talk about that thing. Did slavery exist, Captain Warrior Mike Allen?
Of course it did.
All right.
How
can you
got
prove
family?
that?
I got family members that told family members, and it went up the line to me. They said that we were slaves, and they told the stories. So that's better than a book, because you can't erase memories, but you can change books.
Right.
And that's what they're doing.
That's right. You can change books all day long. I got something for you on that too, as far as like changing books or changing the narrative. What would you get ready to say, Captain Yazabet?
Con, I think he was being a little modest with the number of slaves that they had. I'm looking here at POTUS.com, presidential facts. It says Thomas Jefferson had 600 plus slaves.
Mm-hmm.
George Washington had 317. Andrew Jackson had 200, or right around 200. Zachary Taylor had 150. That was big money back in the day.
All of the members. I read in a very interesting fact. I'm not going to say all, okay, because I got it right here. It says the majority of the signers of the Declaration of Independence owned slaves. 41 out of 56 of them, according to a study. 41 of 56 people.
About 80%.
Right? And you out there on the 4th of July, shooting fireworks, all right? Got your gat, aim at the sky, letting loose, getting drunk up, right? Just because you see your oppressor doing it. Jake could find any reason to have a doggone barbecue, smoke a blunt, okay, and doggone get wasted.
I don't want. They got the day off work.
I get a day off work.
You got the United States flag balling shorts on. Got the whole outfit on. I don't want.
hey, they're gonna be in there red, white, and blue, and they're gonna have the stars. They're gonna have the stars on there too.
Right.
It's lucky, I don't want.
Hey, go ahead.
We sing the Star Spangled Banner on that day.
Right.
So,
but there's verses in the Star Spangled Banner that's got slavery in it, and we never sing those verses. Why did they write those verses? The guy that wrote the Star Spangled Banner, he just wrote it the way he saw it. I just recently, in the last few years, just found out those verses were in there, and that's what they don't sing when they actually sing the Star Spangled Banner. It mentions slavery in there.
It's lucky, right?
And it didn't happen today. Now slavery ain't happened today.
Go ahead, Nasmi. I'm sorry, brother. Kawaza Ball. Hopefully I said it right.
It's all right, Ottawa. But I wanted to add a quick point onto that as well. Just reading off Ottawa Warriors precept. Like if you continue to read Job 13:4, it says, "But ye are forgers of lies, ye are all physicians of no value. Oh, that you will altogether hold your peace, and it should be your wisdom." So if they were just to not say things like, all the founding fathers, they believe that slavery was wrong, that would be wisdom to them, because you're not fooling anybody by trying to twist the narrative, right? It's well documented how racist and how evil and how much they hated our people is, right? Or how it was, right? So them trying to twist the narrative and trying to switch the playbook, it's like, yo, we see exactly through you. We see exactly through it. And I yield on that point.
Man, if you pay attention, hey Salakia, if you pay attention, all right, ever since they put Trump in office the first time. Okay, and I can give a damn about any political party. All right, neither do the Sons of Thunder Israelites represent any political party. But I'm just speaking facts right now. Okay, when you look at when they put Trump in office, okay, Trump is a known liar. Okay, he's Esau in the flesh. All right, this joker would just lie for shits and giggles, man. Okay. He lies just for fun. And the thing about it is his people eat it up. They eat it up. Okay? For the simple fact of what the brother officer Nassim just said. Okay? It's easier for them to tell a lie, right? And live off that. Okay? And just keep going along with it than it is for them to tell the truth. Okay? Just keep the doggone lie going. All right. If I keep the lie going, it creates a facade and a smoke screen. Okay. And I'm going to start to believe that lie. Right. And their children are believing the lie. Okay. That's why the scriptures talk about a day that's give me that in the book of Jeremiah. Okay. Give me that Jeremiah. What is it? 16, 19. Give me the scripture that said your fathers have inherited lies. Give me that real quick. All right. Give me that.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 16, verse 19.
Yeah, bring it up.
O Lord, my strength and my fortress and my refuge in the day of affliction, the Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies.
See, that's the thing about it. Eventually, prophecy is going to come to pass. Okay? What the Most High said is going to happen will happen. And these jokers have no choice but to tell the truth in that day. Okay? I was talking to a brother today, man. Talking to a brother, a good friend of the cat. Okay, I was talking to that brother earlier today. We had a very interesting conversation. Talked to the brother for about 45 minutes. And we were talking about some things about, how in that day, leading up to Jacob's trouble or doing Jacob's trouble, all right, or doing all the mayhem that's going to come about by way of prophecy, people are going to either get right or lay down. That's including you, Jake. That's including you, sisters. All right. You're not going to have no choice but to get down or lay down.
Okay.
All right. And the heathen is definitely going to fall into place because they're not going to have a choice. They're going to see the Israelite man being protected and exalted. My servants will eat. Okay. That's what the Most High said. All right. He's going to protect those that keep the law and endure and have faith in Yahweh Shah. Why Yahweh? All right? Gotta make sure I mention Yahweh, and we got to set him up. Okay, that's a part of the conversation that me and the brother was having. How brothers be forgetting about Yahweh. We exalt Yahweh Shai to the utmost as we should. Okay, but you got to remember, Yahweh Shai did not replace Yahweh. Okay, it's part of the reason why we're in the condition that we're in right now. Okay, all right. Yahweh is our power.
Counter
right. All praises to the Most High. Bahashem Mashiach Yahweh Shai. All right. Okay, so hey, we don't want to get off track. Okay, we don't want to get off track. I want to show y'all. We were talking about. I think a brother made a comment in the chat. Okay, and I want to show you all how our people are confused. I want to show you how our people are confused. Fair use. All right, this is the mindset of our people. Our people are confused.
Words that are being stated in this video that I'm about to play. Okay, I'm going to point out the trigger words and phrases that will indicate whenever something has been created by the use of imagination.
The slavevoyages.org website has now completed 10 years of successful operation, drawing on 4 decades of archival research on 5 continents, a revolution in computer processing costs, and with major funding from the National Endowment for the Humanities and the UK's Arts and Humanities Research Board, the site now offers access to details of more than 36,000 slave trading voyages between Africa and the New World, a further 11,400 voyages from one part of the Americas to another part of the Americas, and 92,000 Africans who were forced to make these voyages.
Now wait, hold up, wait. Let's stop right here for a second. Henry Louis Gates Jr. just said a number that does not reflect the initial slave trade storyline as we were told. Weren't we forced to believe that 12.5 million enslaved Africans were brought to the Americas between the 1500s and the late 1800s? But he is saying that they have researched a total number of 92,000 Africans. Now, some of you may have heard 350,000 or somewhere along that same line, 300,000, a little bit more, or maybe even 3 to 5%, which should make you wonder if any of these depictions or assumptions are even remotely accurate or truthful for that matter.
Now you heard what the brother said. Okay. Are any of these numbers, based off the data that was just portrayed, are they truthful? Okay. Are they coaxed? Or is it just made up all in general? Okay. Let me tell you something about these devils, man. Since the beginning of time, Satan's goal is to create confusion in the masses. Okay? Satan's goal has been to create confusion in the masses. Okay? Hey, let's come together. Let's build a tower that reaches up to the heavens. Okay? Let's all come and be one people. Even though the Most High divided the nations, he divided everybody. This is your piece. This is your piece. Y'all stay over here. Okay? And my people here, y'all get the best part. Israel, y'all get the best part. God? Okay? They still came together. Okay? To what? Create the Tower of Babel. And Babel means what? Confusion. When you look at Catholicism, right? Where the majority of these religions come from, okay? Catholicism is a universal doctrine, meaning everybody can come in, okay? And everybody can do, all right, this, that, and the third, It's confusion. That's why we have this big melting pot that we live in today called the United States of America. Because everybody can come over here and you can live here and do whatever the hell you want to do. You can be whatever religion you want. Okay? You can be whatever gender you want. Okay? You can do whatever you want to do. And there's laws to protect you. You're not going over to the Middle East living how you want to live.
Right.
Without being persecuted. It's not happening. You're not going over to the majority of, I'm going to tell you what, the African countries are clamping down. And they looked Obama in the eye and told him, you leave that old LGBTQ stuff over there. All right? Them doggone presidents wasn't having it. All right? But it's confusion, brothers and sisters. That's what it is. Okay? The thing about it is, all right, when you put narratives together, it was 12.5 million, okay, who came over here via Atlantic slave trade. No, it was 92,000. No, it was 350,000. It gets our people to question whether this thing ever happened or not, because the facts are not straight. That's their goal, to create confusion, to get our people to start getting on board with critical race theory. All right? And to stop the understanding, the belief that this thing never happened. That way they get off. They get a pass. Our children hate their children.
Khan are the one. Khan.
All right. Give me Colossians chapter 2 and 8. Give me the classic. Give me the book of Colossians chapter 2 and 8. And also give me 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse number 3.
Khan are the one. This is the book of Colossians chapter 2 and verse 8. And it reads, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the traditions of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ.
Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy, running their mouth, just in certain doctrines, right? And vain deceit, after the traditions of men, but not after Christ. All right? Not after your real history. To think that Christ came to save all people is crazy. The Old Testament speaks about the fall of the Israelites. The Most High creates the Most High creates men and women, right? In the book of Genesis chapter 1. All right, starting at verse number 26, right? Then you go over to Genesis chapter 2 and verse number 7. He creates Adam. He pulls Adam, I should say. All right, he chooses Adam. I got to be careful about what I say. All right, the Most High God chooses Adam to be the leader, right, of the garden. Out of Adam, all right, and Noah eventually comes all nations.
Khan are the one.
The Israelites become the nation that the Most High God chooses out of the 18, right?
Khan are the one.
Okay. Christ, Yahushua, that's who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, right? Comes out of the lineage of the tribe of Judah from the Israelites. Give me the book of Matthew chapter 1. See, the thing is when we go from the Old Testament, right? We go from the Old Testament and we go into the New Testament. The New Testament starts speaking about the Israelites. It starts speaking about Christ coming from the Israelites. That's what it starts speaking about. It gives his lineage. But somehow the narrative changes and it shifts to Christ coming for all people. It doesn't make sense at all. No, the New Testament picks right back up where the Old Testament left off. It absolutely does. Give me that. Matthew 1, read verse 1.
Count to 1.
This is a book of Matthew, chapter 1, and verse 1. The book of the generation of Jesus Christ.
It says
the son of
book.
David.
It says the book and the generations of Yahushua, Hamashiach. All right. Generations, root word being gene. Okay. His family. Right? Read on.
The son of David
The son of David. Now we know his father's name was Joseph. Okay? But David, we're talking about the king of Israel. Okay? A man after the Most High's heart who was from the tribe of Judah. It's given his genealogy. Christ came out of the loins of David. Okay? This is his family. Continue to read.
The son of Abraham.
The son of Abraham. Christ has to be the son of Abraham. He has to come out of the line of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob because they are the chosen seed. They are the promised seed. This is talking about genealogy. From the time Christ hit the scene. That's what it's talking about. All right? Read verse 16.
Verse 16. And Jacob begat Joseph.
And Jacob begat Joseph. This man, Jacob, is also coming from the loins of David. Also from the loins of Abraham. Huh? So that means Joseph, Christ's father, was from the seed of David. He's from the tribe of Judah. That's what it's explaining here. All right. We tell you week in and week out, you are who your father is. And when you read the book of Matthew chapter 1, it only lists the men. The only one that it mentions is Mary. It's giving her reference because she carried Christ in the womb in verse 16. Verse 16, and Jacob begat Joseph, the husband of Mary. So Joseph comes from that lineage of whom Christ was born. Yahushua, Hamashiach. This is the lineage of Christ. Give me Exodus 3 and 10 real quick. All right, and give me Matthew chapter 2 and verse 6 real quick, and then we're going to go ahead and continue on. I got to show you this because this is your real history. This is your real history right here. I got to show you this. Okay? Read that.
The book of Exodus chapter 3 and verse 10.
Uh-huh.
Come now, therefore, and I will send thee unto Pharaoh, that thou mayest bring forth my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt.
Go unto Pharaoh, all right, and speak unto him and tell him, set my people free. All right, who are we talking about? The children of Israel, my people. That's how the Most High God classified them. Read Matthew 2 and 6.
Another one. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 2 and verse 6. And thou, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, art not the least among the princes of Judah. For out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people, Israel.
That shall rule who?
My people, Israel.
That shall rule my people, Israel. So that right there is who Christ came for. That's who he's going to rule over. He's going to be the king. And he's going to have leadership up underneath him when he comes to bear rule. And we're going to put the nations in subjection under us. That's prophecy. That's written. All you got to do is read the book instead of listening to a narrative that is pushed out by your oppressors. A narrative is pushed out. It's not what the Bible is actually saying. Okay? All right? We can get into other talks a little bit later. Okay? Because I know we got folk on here, okay, that want to go back and forth, but we got to get our point across. All right? We can get into some narratives later if y'all want to talk about it. Okay? But listen, don't let any man spoil you with philosophy and vain deceit. Okay? Don't let any man spoil you with philosophy and vain deceit. Understand this. It doesn't matter. Hey, can you brothers and sisters hear me? I'm getting ready to yield.
Yeah, can I bring this out before we get past Louis Gates?
Yeah, go ahead, King.
He does genealogy. He does the DNA test. And I used to watch him. He does more white people's DNA than black people. And I noticed that. And then he said something extraordinary that made me not believe him anymore. He said that black people come from white people.
Oh.
He
This
said it.
brother.
This is Dr. Lewis Gates. He does the DNA for the stars or whatnot. And I always wondered why he was always doing white people's DNA to trace them back through time. And there's very few black people that was ever there. And then one day he said that black people come from white people. So he's confused about how the world turns.
Cap, white people don't even believe that.
Yeah, but he does. It was crazy when I heard that, and I said, now I know where his head is at. It's
wild, man.
To put it mildly. I can say it another way, but people are listening to him, and then they're getting confused of where they come from. So the history is being diluted,
absolutely,
or changed. That's what this lesson is about. They're
that's
changing
right.
the history, but they got to go back into the genealogy to bring it forward. We're trying to say that we're the chosen people, but he's not saying we're the chosen people. He's saying the white man is the chosen, and we come from him. And that's off.
That's
when I
crazy.
heard that, I said, I'm not listening to him no more. That's where we got to draw the line. When you hear something that's wrong, you got to say, "Oh, that's it." Because I had the utmost respect for him until he said that.
Right.
Because I thought he was totally in the science. But when that came out, he's saying white people were here first. We evolved from them. And I'm like, man, come on, brother.
Yeah, he off his rocket for that.
That's KKK talking points.
Yeah, that's where he is.
All right, let's continue to play this, and then we're gonna move on. Okay.
The role of slave voyages as the basic reference tool for the slave trade to the Americas and now within the Americas is well established. Users can now analyze data, sample estimates of the slave trade, view videos, maps, and animations, consult research essays, contribute corrections to existing data, and add information on voyages that the editors don't even know about.
Whoa!
Now, one of our brothers put in the chat earlier. They said something earlier. It wasn't one of you. Might have been Brother Nassim. Said something about rewriting books. Who said that earlier? That they're rewriting history. Okay, somebody said that earlier. All right, now look, what the doctor is saying here. Okay, I'm gonna rewind it a little bit. Okay, he's saying that it's different nowadays. All right, listen, because things can be manipulated, and the thing is our brother here gets very it's confusing. It's confusing to him, to the point to where he's questioning his belief. Pay attention, brothers and sisters. Pay attention. There's a reason why we're bringing this out.
Maps and animations, consult research essays, contribute corrections to existing data, and add information on voyages that the editors don't even know about.
Whoa! 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 He said, contribute corrections to existing data and add information on voyages that the editors don't even know about. That should sound familiar to you, because what website allows anyone to contribute any information to existing data without the editor's knowledge?
Wikipedia. All right, so hey, look. The reason why I brought this video out is because look, the more data and facts start to change, it questions our people's belief on the existence of history. Okay? The more he pushes his story, the more he pushes his narrative, all right, and then get our faces, all right, our brothers and sisters to push that narrative, the more confusing it gets to the masses. That's why when you get young brothers come up to the camp spot and we start talking to them about slavery, they look at us like we speak in Swahili, man. They're not being taught this in school, right? They're literally trying to remove this from our brothers and sisters' mindsets, okay? So that we can live all doggone hunky-dory. All right. And we doggone did your ancestors wrong. We beat your grandmother's back in. Okay. We spit in your food. All right. We chopped your limbs off for trying to run. We doggone did lynchings on you all. But guess what? All right. Just forgive us and move on. It don't work like that.
Right.
Okay? Recompense got to come. Okay? Recompense got to come. All right? And you can't get away. All right? Esau, you can't get away. It's not happening. All right? And I'm going to show you something. See, this type of stuff right here, the rhetoric that was pushed out by those politicians, okay, it leads to what I'm getting ready to show you. Okay? It leads to what I'm getting ready to show you. Now, and we talked earlier about how the brother Rodney Hinton Sr., I'm getting ready to play that video. He held a press conference, okay, last week. It was earlier in the week. And he has some very interesting things to say. Okay, this comes from the mindset of a polluted individual. Okay, a man that lost his son, Salakia, grandson, by the hand of the police. Talk like this. A lot of brothers and sisters are saying that he was paid off, this, that, and the third. Hey man, I think the brother just doggone lost. Okay, pay attention. Family, fair use. Show me some love in the chat. All right. Show me some love in the chat. I wanted to play it from the screen, but brothers is saying that it's an issue with the sound. All right. So pay attention to this, brothers and sisters. Fair use. Did it not add? Hold on. Pay attention. Fair use.
By my grandson, I seen two scared people. I seen the officer scared, and I seen my grandson scared. So it's an unfortunate incident that happened. So that's all I seen. It was like, I didn't see the police there trying to kill. No. What I seen was two persons made a mistake. My grandson made a mistake being there, and the officer, he was trying to get back to his family too. So that's what I seen. So it's not about revenge or anything. I have nothing against nobody. You know, my Lord and Savior is Jesus Christ, and I represent Him. So, with that said, please, everybody, just try to forgive everybody who done anything to me.
See, the thing is, the brother don't even understand that Christ is coming back here to deliver you from this situation. That's what he's coming back for. Okay? His mind is polluted with Christianity. Okay? You just lost your grandson by the hands of the enemy. Okay? And your mindset is on forgive, forgive, forgive. We the only people, so-called black folk are the only people, right, that will get dogged, right, for doggone centuries. Get shot down in the street, all right? Get shot in the doggone chest. You know, you're eating doggone ice cream in your house, and doggone a woman just barge in and just gun you down. Pop, and the judge is merciful. A so-called black judge stroking the woman's hair. All right? Forgiveness. That's right. Christianity got to go. Yeah. We the only people. The so-called Chinaman ain't having it, man. That's right. So-called Chinaman ain't having it. The Chinese man got into some doggone issues about a good 4 years ago. All right. When they were getting the brakes beat off of them, they went to the government, man. The government awarded them millions. Gave them reparations.
Reparation.
All right. Off the rip. Okay. Because Asian lives matter. You've been going through it for centuries. Centuries. All right. And they ain't gave you nothing. Hey, we gave y'all a black president. Go ahead, King.
I was gonna say they're gonna tell us you could take a little more. What you complaining for?
God, hey, the sister Roxanne Judah Tribe says, however, we won't forgive each other. You'll forgive the white man, but you won't forgive your brother and your sister. We the Israelites, man. The curses definitely fit our people. Okay? We're that people. And it ain't even close. That's why these devils laughing at us, man.
It's like the other one.
Hold on for a minute. Hey, go ahead.
Hey, our people, we're fast to forgive everybody. But in the scripture, it says, forgive your brother his transgression. It don't say forgive everybody. So when we learn that in the church, they stick that everybody in it because it says all of us.
It's Catholicism. It's Catholicism. Hey, we was talking about that. We was talking about this past week, King. We was talking about that this past week on how the matter of fact on Clubhouse. I happen to go on Clubhouse, man. I normally don't go on Clubhouse, man. Okay. Hey, our brothers got a lot of patience, man. Hey, Sons of Thunder be on the platform, man, taking a lot of doggone shots, man. You know, I gotta build myself up a little bit more patiently, man, to deal with Jake and Eve on Clubhouse. Okay. Our people are destroyed, man. Okay. And I was dealing with a brother, and I was trying to explain to him exactly what the warrior Michael Olive is talking about, man. You know, and our people, they just continue to doggone buck. They don't want to hear you, man. Okay, because Christianity has us confused. Okay, they have us confused. Right? The Bible, all right, is talking about your brother. Get the scripture out. Get the law. All right, give me the law. All right, go into Leviticus and give me the law.
It's the book What?
You got it to one.
Go ahead, Ken.
Counter one. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor, and not
Salaki.
on him.
The Bible is telling you that your brother is your neighbor, your kin. All right? Remember, the law was given to the Israelites. Okay? When you go into Deuteronomy chapter 1, I'm going to go there real quick, okay? Go there real quick. I want to keep Israel all night. Okay, I'm going to go there real quick. Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse number 1, it reads, These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel on this side Jordan in the wilderness. He's talking to the Israelite. The narrative has always been to the Israelites. We go into the New Testament and we start reading Paul's letters, which is trigonometry. It's trigonometry. If you ain't mastered the Old Testament, what you dealing in Paul's letters for? Okay? You got to go back and understand the foundation. Okay? We go past Paul's letters. Let's get it easy. Let's go to James. We go to James chapter 1 and verse number 1. Okay? And who is James addressing this to? Who is he addressing this to? James, servant of Yahweh power and of the Lord Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. That's who the message is to. It was never to everybody else. This is the Israelites' book. I don't have to open up the book of Luke, and it doesn't have to tell me that this was addressed to the Israelites, and it's only talking about the Israelites. So when the word Gentile is mentioned in a certain context, it doesn't have to give me a breakdown, because I read the Greek captivity in the Apocrypha, and I found out that the Israelites weren't even able to call themselves Israelites, and they couldn't keep the law. So they were considered to be Greeks because they lived in Greek. I'm an Israelite, and I live in the United States of America, and some people would classify me as American because I was born here. But that's not where my ancestors are from. I don't have to do that breakdown if I read. You're right there, soldier Meyer. James said to the 12 tribes scattered abroad, because the Israelites were scattered into all nations for their disobedience, to be put in subjection to all of the nations who are our enemies. The narrative didn't change from the beginning, all right, to the end of the book. And we're still living the curses and the prophecies today. We're still living it. And some prophecies still haven't come to pass yet. When Christ came on the scene, Christ did not dismiss prophecy. Right? He only came. Give me that in the book of Acts, real quick. Hey, I got to bring it out, man. He only came, all right, to doggone fulfill that which was written of him. The things that he was to suffer. That's what he fulfilled. Huh?
Another one.
We don't have to. We already read the Old Testament, okay? And when you read in the Apocrypha, it all makes sense. When you get into that Greek captivity, you start, oh, look at this. It all makes sense now, right? These Gentiles that doggone Paul is talking about, all right, or him being the apostle to the Gentiles, it makes sense. He's going into these other nations to speak to the Israelites, because they're scattered in there with the heathen. They're scattered in there with the Gentiles. They're Israelites living in Rome. They're Israelites living in Ephesus. They're Israelites living in Galatia. It all makes sense. This is the Israelites' book and nobody else's. Right? So just like the young brother was saying earlier, all right, when the Bible starts to say us, it's not talking about everybody. You can include yourself in and make it an inclusive doctrine all you want, but it ain't talking about you. You just better hope, all right, that you don't go in that lake of fire so that you get the opportunity to serve our God. All right? That's what you better hope for, you heathen. Huh?
Who
we holding?
Acts 5 and 31.
Bring it out.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 5, verse 31. Him hath God exalted with his. That ain't the one.
Lucky the one.
Hey, bring it out. I'm not saying.
You looking for Acts 3 and 18?
Yeah, 3 and 18.
Okay, come on.
Counter to one. Let's look at Acts chapter 3 and verse 18. But those things which God before had showed by the mouth of all his prophets, that Christ should suffer, he hath so fulfilled.
That's what Christ came to fulfill. They'll tell you all day long in the Christian church, Christ fulfilled the law. Christ fulfilled the law. So we ain't got to do it. What the Bible say? Read it again.
Counter one. But those things which God before had showed by the mouth of all his prophets, that Christ should suffer, he hath so fulfilled.
Christ fulfilled that which was written on him, all right, about what he should suffer. That's what he fulfilled. And you want to say, all right, hey, but what about this verse? What about that verse? What about that verse? Okay, that's right. And what about that? In Luke chapter 24 and 44, what about that? Huh? Read that real quick.
Another one. This is the book of Luke, chapter 24 and verse 44. And it reads, and he said unto them, these are the words which I spake unto you while I was yet with you. All things must be fulfilled, which are written in the law of Moses and in the prophets and in the Psalms concerning me.
Concerning me. Right?
That's right.
He has to come back and fulfill that which was written of him. Huh?
Another one.
All right. He even mentioned the Psalms. Okay, this thing is real easy, man. Okay, It's real easy. All you got to do is doggone. Hold on for a minute. Give me the book of Psalms 22. Give me Psalm 22 real quick. Okay, give me Psalm 22 real quick. And let's just prove that real quick. He said the things that were written in the law, in the prophets, and the Psalms. So we're going to go to Psalms 16 and read verse 21, I want to say. Get that real quick.
Counter one. This is the book of Psalms chapter 16, I believe, verse 10. And it reads,
What's that say?
For thou wilt not leave my soul in hell, neither wilt thou suffer thine Holy One to see corruption. Thou wilt show me the path of life. In thy presence is fullness of joy. At thy right hand there are pleasures forevermore.
Sorry, King. Hey, go to 22. My bad. Psalms 22. Psalm 22. I apologize. Psalm 22 and read verse number 16.
Counter one. This is the book of Psalms chapter 22 and verse 16. For dogs have compassed me. The assembly of the wicked have enclosed me. They pierced my hands and my feet.
They did what?
They pierced my hands and my feet.
They pierced my hands and my feet. Did King David's hands and feet get pierced? King David's hands and feet did not get pierced. He's prophesying about Christ and his coming. This must be fulfilled. Don't tell me what about this verse. Deal with this. Continue to read. Don't tell me what about this next verse you got. Deal with this. Continue to read.
Counter 1, verse 17. I may tell all my bones, they look and stare upon me. They part my garments among them, and cast lots upon my vesture.
They did what?
They part my garments among them, and cast lots upon my vesture.
Did they not part Christ's garments and cast lots? They did not gamble over Christ's garments to see who was going to get which piece. Did that not happen to Christ?
Okay.
Did it not? This is prophecy. Christ had to come back and fulfill this. Give me Isaiah 53. People don't like that, man. They don't like that. Give me Isaiah 53 and give me verse number 5. They don't like this because it's like, I mean, I hear what he's saying and they twisting up scriptures. Why he going here? Why he going there? Let's just go in the New Testament. No, Christ just told you in the New Testament what he came to fulfill. So let's go to the prophets and see what it was supposed to fulfill. Isaiah 53 and read verse 5.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 53 and verse 5, and it reads, "But he was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities."
Now listen to how Isaiah is speaking in past tense. Because he's prophesying of what is going to come. He was wounded. Christ ain't on the scene yet. Why Isaiah prophesying? Who was wounded for our transgressions? Who was bruised for our iniquities? He had to come and fulfill that, not the law. Doesn't make sense. The law of the Lord is perfect according to the book of Psalms 19 and 7. So if the law of the Lord is perfect, why do we need to get rid of it? No, this is what we're governed by. And this is why we have a lawless society, because the Israelites have not done their job. The Israelites have not set the example. They have not been that light on the hill for everybody to follow.
Okay.
The law is that example. That's what we're supposed to be doing. This is the reason why the so-called black man, Hispanic man, of Negroid descent, and Native American man are getting dogged out. This is why. Because we failed to come back to the law. We made a covenant with the Most High God. This is why we're confused. This is why we're talking like this. We got to get on Jesse Lee. Fair use, fair use. We got to get on this guy, man. Jesse Lee Patterson. What a buffoon. I want to use another word, but what a buffoon. This guy right here, I thought he was starting to listen. But this guy right here, man, he really let me down, man. This guy really let me down. This is an example of our people with a distorted mindset, man. Okay? This is an example right here. Listen, pay attention.
Guess what I realized? I realized that we have been lied to. For a long time, we have been lied to by the children of the lie, and we have all fallen for it. We've absolutely fallen for it. And what I realized is that in their lies is always connected to emotions, what you think and what you feel. And if you're not aware of that, you find yourself going with it and agreeing with the children of the lie, whereas the children of God are not about mind and emotions. They're totally about logic. They're about what is right, not what they feel and not what they think. But we've been caught up in the world so much now. Even the churches are acting and teaching the same thing that the children of the lie are teaching. And it's so unfortunate. And I wrote down a few examples of how we have been lied to. I wrote down a few here. And the reason I was thinking about this, I've been kind of thinking about it, but I went to D.C. this week and I did a TV show with Gavin McInnes. You guys know who he is?
Do y'all know who Gavin McInnes is? Do y'all know who Gavin McInnes is? This dude sat down with Gavin McInnes and he's giving Gavin McInnes reverence. I got to show y'all who he is. Okay? All right. I know somebody probably beat me in the chat. Okay. But okay, I'm already sharing my screen. Hold on. Give me just a second, family. Okay. Gavin McInnes. Okay. This is Gavin McInnes. This is the founder of the Proud Boys. He's giving reverence to the founder of the Proud Boys. He agrees with him. This is our people. This is how they think. This is how your people think, family. Pay attention.
Fun. So make sure you check it out. How can they get it?
CRTV.com.
Oh, yeah, CRTV.com. And it was really good. We had a fun time. It was a good interview. And he was naming some lies that we've been told. I'm like, wow, that's so interesting. We have been lied to. For an example, we have been lied to about slavery. Slavery has been over with 150 years ago or more. No slaves are alive that I'm aware of. And people are literally telling us that we are suffering due to slavery. That old white man beat us up so bad in slavery until it's lasted 150 years, going on 200 years. And people believe it. They literally, how do you believe something like that? None of us got beat by a master. Anybody got beat by your master this morning? Yeah. My master didn't beat me. But yeah, there are black people out there literally believing and thinking that they are not making it in life because of slavery. And you can't convince them unless they're ready to.
I mean, even if you got the mindset of Jesse, see, Jesse the type of brother who got doggone white men all around him. Okay. All right. Word, home, you know, he playing pinochle. He ain't playing spades. He ain't dropping no bones. Okay. This joker has befriended and drank up the Kool-Aid of this place. You can't tell. We got a topic to talk about every week on C4N. My brothers sitting here on this panel, they posting stuff in the doggone chat throughout the week. I'll be looking at this. I mean, it's an atrocity what they're doing to our people. We got numerous topics that we can go into on C4N every week because our people are continuing to be oppressed. And I know Jesse Lee Patterson sees this. He just chooses to ignore it. Okay? How can you not see that we're still oppressed? If these devils had a doggone 350-year head start and got rich off cotton, all right, in the South, and got rich off factory work in the coal mines up north, and you were working for doggone nothing, free, all right, and eventually pennies, what you mean, all right, slavery don't have us behind? That doesn't make no sense. Some of our people have wealth, but generational wealth belongs to them. And it's not even close. See, to hear devils like this, hey, he's comfortable, man. He comfortable, man, with his doggone big house, white picket fence, got the doggone German Shepherd running. Okay. Probably got a horse in the yard. He comfortable with that. Seeking the kingdom is not even in his doggone sights. Because he sold out for the American dream. This is our people's problem. Go ahead, King.
He said there's no slavery in America, but what is the U.S. prison system? It's modern day slavery. For everybody that's in there, it's not just us. The white people. They take you out and make you work out in the community for like a penny. That's slavery.
That's right.
But the majority of those prisoners or those slaves are our people. And I want to bring out Isaiah 42 and 22.
Bring it out.
But this is a people robbed and spoiled.
Mm-hmm.
They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none delivereth, for a spoil, and none saith restore. When we get picked up for marijuana, they give us the maximum sentence.
Mm-hmm.
We got a brother in the truth that's in prison right now. He came in the truth, but he's in prison.
God.
I bet you, if you ask him, hey, you having a good time in there? He said, no, I'm a slave in here. I can't do what I want to do when I want to do it. That's slavery.
Right.
And he says there's no slavery in America. There was a article of a woman in Mississippi. She's been sharecropping, or not sharecropping, she's been an actual slave, her family, since the 1930s. They don't even know there's freedom because the white man won't tell them. So they think that this is a natural thing that's going on. There's slaves in there. And this guy is saying there's no slavery in America. He's getting paid. Only a fool would say something like that.
But people believe it, Captain. People believe what he's saying. He's got a huge following. Jesse Lee Patterson has a very huge following. And just like Mike said, he may be getting paid for this narrative. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it at all. But I believe that he believes that lie. I really believe that he believes that lie. Let's continue to hear what he got to say.
To see the truth, that they're wrong. That's a lie. And how come the Jews doing so well? Didn't they go through something like that too? And the Jews are like, got buku money and living in.
They got buku money.
See, and this is what I'm talking about. Okay, he compares us to the fake Jew living over there in Jerusalem today. Don't you know that the narrative of the Bible says that the Jews don't go back into the land until Yahushua comes back here and starts to bear rule? Until Christ, who the world English calls Jesus, comes back here, the Jews are still in mourning. That's the narrative of the Bible. That's what the Bible says.
He's supposed to be a preacher.
Salakia. Say that again.
Salakia, I don't want Salakia. I was just saying he's supposed to be a preacher. He should know that.
Man, these devils don't care, man. They drunk. Just like Yatham said, they drunk off the wine of America. If you understand the Bible, and I'm not, look, we don't have to twist the words of the Bible. It's plain upon tables, man. The narrative of the Bible was that the Israelites are oppressed until Christ comes back here to deliver them. by way of his father. Okay, so when you say, well, why the Jews, all right, didn't they go through something like that? Didn't they go through the Holocaust? Right? Ain't nothing wrong with them. They got bukus of money. Something wrong with that. Because the Bible say that the real Jews are in mourning until doggone Christ comes back here. So something's wrong with that. All right? It's not adding up. What the brother Yakum said earlier, that math ain't math.
Nice neighborhood, well educated, got families together. They went through the Holocaust thing. How come their generation down the road is not suffering from that? So it's a lie that slavery is impacted today. And I try to tell them, okay, so if it was slavery that's holding you back, why didn't we do so well under the Jim Crow law? We did very well under the Jim Crow law. Had families, they bought land. I mentioned to Galvin that I had an aunt, she got married. She and her husband bought buku land under the Jim Crow. They had something like 15, 16, 17 kids. That many babies. And they all went to college. All of them. And the Jim Crow law was there. We couldn't live in certain places. You had for colors only sign. How come they were able to do so well under the Jim Crow laws if it was slavery holding us back? Another lie, racism. Everybody and mama used the word racism. Blacks are suffering because of racism. White people are racist. That's another lie. No such thing as racism. When I was in that fallen state, I believed that racism existed too. It wasn't until I came out and I saw that it's a spiritual battle. It's either right or wrong, good or evil. It has nothing to do with the color thing. It has nothing to do with male or female. It's either right or wrong. But
give me Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 1, man. Hey, I'm tired of listening to this doggone buffoon, man. Okay? Hey, this is ridiculous, man. How can you even open up your mouth and move your lips to say such blasphemy, man? Hey, this is ridiculous, brother. Give me Isaiah 30 and verse number 1. All right? Read that.
Come on, one. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 30 and verse 1, and it reads, woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me.
See, woe unto the rebellious children, saith the Most High, that take counsel, that take their understanding, that believe doctrines, who is drunk off the wine of Babylon, but not of the Most High. What you talking about is not biblical, Jesse Lee. And you got a lot of brothers and sisters that think like this. You got a lot of brothers and sisters that look at these young children out here. They the devil. Okay. Well, if you would have set the right example, elder, okay, maybe our parents would have followed. Okay. We've been a lawless society for a while. Okay. And we are our ancestors. So it's our fault too. Read on.
Kind of the one. And that covered with a covering, but not of my spirit. That they may add sin to sin.
That they may add sin to sin. It just keeps going on and on. Okay? Because our people don't care. We turn a blind eye. Read.
Another one. That walk to go down into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth.
That walk and go down into Egypt. Give me Revelation chapter 11 and verse number 8. You got to understand the Egypt that Isaiah is prophesying about. He's not talking, listen, Isaiah, he's prophesying of what's going to come. Our people have already come out of Egypt, huh? Okay, this is the spiritual Egypt that's being mentioned here. Okay, you're taking counsel of spiritual Egypt, but not of the Most High. You got to remember, what did Egypt stand for? Okay, pastor always going into the Bible trying to relate your everyday life to it. Well, guess what? Egypt is a representation of your bondage today, Jesse Lee. Okay, read that. Revelation 11 and 8. And make sure we hold in Isaiah 30. Go ahead.
Counter one. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 11 and verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great
George
city,
Floyd.
which spiritually is...
Rodney Hitton. Ryan Hitton, I should say. George Floyd. Sonia Massey. Okay, Fernando Castillo. All our brothers and sisters. I hate to omit people, but it's so many. It's so many. We doggone losing count, man.
God.
Counter one.
But your dead bodies are gonna lie in the street of that great city. What? Read that again.
Counter one. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt.
Which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. Sodom because they've welcomed in this doggone homosexuality free lifestyle, this LGBTQ mess. Okay, in Egypt because of the oppression of the Israelites. Read.
Counter one. Where also our Lord was crucified.
Also, our Lord was crucified. Jump down to verse 12.
Counter one. This is Revelation chapter 11 and verse 12.
Salakia and Isaiah 30. Go to Isaiah 30.
Jump down to Isaiah. Counter one. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 12. Wherefore thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word and trust in oppression.
Because you despise his word and you trust in oppression. Read.
And perverseness.
Read.
And stay thereon.
And you what? And you
stay thereon.
You're comfortable here. You're comfortable with this understanding. Oh, racism doesn't exist. What the hell are you talking about? Huh? Read.
Therefore, this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall.
It's gonna doggone stay on your back, okay, until it crushes you. Because you believe not, all right, the Holy Spirit, and you believe not the words of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah. Huh?
Kind of one.
This is what we're gonna get. We're gonna stay in a lower state if we continue to break the Most High's law. Okay? We're going to stay in that lower state. Okay? And look at this guy bringing confusion. He was bringing confusion last week. Listen, a Adawan is just a representation of a senior man. That's why those brothers refer to someone more senior than them as Adawan. That's all it is. Brothers are not in subjection to us. We follow Christ. Okay? We follow Christ. We do have leadership in our organization. All right, the head leader in our camp is Adawan Yahweh, but we follow Christ. All right, and we follow the Most High power. Huh?
Adawan.
Right? I don't like that distraction, man. He's trying to take away from the word. Huh?
Adawan.
Counter one.
All right. Hey, jump to the classic. Go to Lamentations 4 and 17. This is what's being done to our people, man. All right. Give me Lamentations 4 and 17, and then go to Jeremiah 2. This is what being done to our people right here. For Jesse Lee to open up his mouth, all right, with that rhythm. Read that.
This is the book of Jeremiah, Slakia. Lamentations 4 and 17. As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us.
In our eyes, okay, we failed for vain help. We're waiting for a nation. They can't save us. The reason why they can't save us because the Lord says we gotta wait and be patient until his son returns. The curses are going to be upon our people forever until the end. So they can't save us, but you don't know that. because you listening to your oppression. You trust in oppression.
Okay.
You're not listening to the Bible. You're not being guided by the Holy Spirit. You're being guided by men. All right. Give me that in Jeremiah 2. Go to verse 36.
Count another one.
Count another one. It's like it. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2 and verse 36. Why gaddest thou about so much to change thy way? Thou also shalt be ashamed of Egypt, as thou was ashamed of Assyria.
That also should be ashamed of Egypt. Okay? You'll be ashamed of this place. Read on.
Yea, thou shalt go forth from him, and thine hands upon thine head.
You're going to be totally confused. Okay? Because you expected this place to doggone save you. Okay? It's the greatest nation on earth, the land of the free, the home of the brave. Okay? But you're going to be sorely disappointed. Read.
Counter one. For the Lord hath rejected thy confidences.
The Lord hath rejected your confidences. Okay? The trust that you have in this place, he has rejected that. You're supposed to be reverencing him and what his word and what his prophecy has said. God?
Another one.
And you're not going to prosper in them. All right? What does this say in the book of Psalms 62 about trusting in oppression? Okay? All right, get that real quick. Psalms chapter 62. Read that real quick. Psalm 62, verse 10.
Another one. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 62 and verse 10, and it reads, trust not in oppression. Become not vain in robbery. If riches increases, set not your heart upon them.
Okay. Trust not in oppression. Okay. And that's a precept to Ecclesiastes 7:7. Okay. When riches come, don't put your trust in them. Okay. Just like Jesse Lee, the people are saying he's being paid off for spewing this narrative, but he's quick to trust in it because he thinks that America is his savior. All right. You have your reward at this point.
Another one.
Our people got to shake this stuff off, man. Our people got to shake this stuff off. Go ahead, King.
As far as Jesse's concerned, I want to read. Go back to Isaiah 39 and 10. That this is a rebellious people, lying children, children that will not hear the law of the Lord, which say to their seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not. Unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceit. That's what Jesse is doing. All the people that out there, they want to hear it. They don't want to hear that there is slavery. That's it. That's the smoothest you can get. Ooh, there's no slavery. There's no oppression. I had a family that we got through Jim Crow. That's smooth. Ooh, that's what I want to hear. That's what the nation want to hear.
Hey, Salakia, Mike, he said they lived good during the Jim Crow era.
Huh. And he was the only one, I guess. Everybody else had, when you had to walk across the street when a white man went by. I guess his family never saw that.
Right.
But he's preaching smooth things. Ooh, there's no slavery. There's no racism. My family didn't experience racism even in the Jim Crow racism days. Ooh, I'm smooth. I'm smooth. He wicked.
It's wild, bro. Okay.
God.
Yeah, but this stuff it continues to spill over, and I'm gonna tell you what. As we look out, okay, as we look out, Black folks are continuing to wake up. Hispanic folk are continuing to wake up. Okay, we're trying to bring our native brothers and sisters on board. Okay, you know, we kind of struggling. You know what I mean? We're kind of struggling with a lot of the Northern Kingdom as well. But as we continue to wake up, all right, we're starting to put our foot down. Okay, just like this Rodney Hitton situation. Okay, I want to get on this and I want to close out. All right, with this Rodney Hitton Jr. situation, I spoke about it earlier. You're starting to see the noise about pardoning Derek Chauvin. Okay, I want you all to see this real quick. All right, I want y'all to see this. All right, fair use, fair use. Show me some love in the chat. Show me some love in the chat.
There is one person that President Trump should pardon from federal charges forthwith. It would be incredibly controversial, but I think that it's absolutely necessary. That person is Derek Chauvin. President Trump should, in fact, pardon Derek Chauvin. But when it came to BLM, the inciting event for the BLM riots that caused $2 billion in property damage in the United States and set America's race relations on their worst footing in my lifetime, was, in fact, the railroading of Derek Chauvin in the death of George Floyd. The evidence demonstrates that Derek Chauvin did not, in fact, commit murder of George Floyd. George Floyd was high on fentanyl. He had a significant pre-existing heart condition. Talk about delivering pardons. President Trump, I think, should really seriously consider pardoning on federal charges. He can't pardon on state charges. Derek Chauvin, who was convicted of the murder of George Floyd. As I say, we will be covering this pretty extensively in the coming weeks. Right now, you should go to pardonderek.com and sign our petition asking President Trump to grant justice to Officer Derek Chauvin. If we are...
These jokers are serious, man. All right? That devil unalived our brother, man. Squoze the air out of his neck. All right? But you got devils like this, Ben Shapiro, and guess what? All right? This devil right here, she saw Marjorie Taylor Greene. Pay attention. Fair use, fair use. Show me some love in the chat. I don't want to play her.
Someone decided she would put that right. She called for a pardon for Derek Chauvin. That's right, the former...
Niall, what's in your notes today?
Well, you're going to love this one, Robbie. You'll have some things to say. Marjorie Taylor Greene must have gone a bit too long without hitting the headlines. Yesterday, the Georgia Congresswoman decided she would put that right. She called for a pardon for Derek Chauvin. That's right, the former...
All right, I gotta make sure that you can see her tweet. Okay, pay attention. I'm gonna pause it. Okay, can you brothers and sisters see that? Marjorie Taylor Greene, along with Ben Shapiro, okay, and these other devils. I strongly support Derek Chauvin being pardoned and released from prison. George Floyd died of a drug overdose. See, these devils, they're living off of that lie. Okay? They're living off of that. All right? The brother had fentanyl in his system, or whatever the case may be. All right? But you doggone putting your knee, all right, on his neck. And the brother telling you that he can't breathe did not cause his death. That's ludicrous right there, man. But they believe that lie. And they all get on board with that narrative. That's what I'm saying. Trump is the right man, all right, for this people. Okay? They come out of the womb speaking lies, huh? All right? They come out of the womb speaking lies. This is how they roll. All right? This is how they roll. Give me the book of Isaiah 5:20 real quick. This is how they roll, family. Read that. I'm getting ready to let you go, Israel. I'm not gonna keep you all night. All right, I just want y'all to see, all right, how your people are moving out here.
Read that. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 5 and verse 20, and it reads, "Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil."
Woe to them liars. Okay? Woe to them. That means destruction. Huh? Read on.
That put darkness for light and light for darkness.
And they put darkness for light and light for darkness. I'm telling you, you're starting to see this thing heat up about the pardoning of Derek Chauvin because of what's going on in this Rodney Hitton Jr.'s case. I'm telling you. Hey, pay attention to this real quick. All right. And we're going to put a little spin, all right, on these crooked police. Pay attention to this. A panel of police, former police and current police got together, and these jokers told the truth. Pay attention.
They must get stopped. At the end of the month, these officers, whoever don't have that arrest or those few summonses, they're pressured to find something. Black Hispanics between 14 to 21, they must get stopped. At the end of the month, these officers, whoever don't have that arrest or those few summonses, they're pressured to find something. You might not see nothing. You're supposed to be visible. You might not see anything, but you go hunting, like bounty hunting for an arrest, locking up some old guy, some homeless guy, finding somebody who's riding a bicycle on the sidewalk, who's spitting, and you bring him in.
The problem is when you go hunting, when you put any type of numbers on a police officer to perform, we are going to go to the most vulnerable.
The most vulnerable.
Of course, we're going to go to LGBT community. We're going to go to the black community. We're going to go to those people that have no vote, that have no power. If we start doing what we're doing in Midtown Manhattan, a phone call to the mayor's office is going to be made. That's going to be the end of it.
We're the predators, they're the prey. The worst thing you can have is a police officer that needs an arrest for the month.
So you're all minorities. How does that make you feel?
It's horrible. This is something coming from the top that trickles its way down, and this is why we're all here today.
Hey, that's rough right there. You got a panel of so-called black, all right, and brown, all right, cops and ex-cops, all right, coming together, and they're telling you that they are ordered to go for young black and Hispanic men. Okay, they are ordered. If they need an arrest, if numbers are down or whatever the case may be, they go to that area. He told you, we ain't going to Manhattan. Okay, they must be in New York. Okay, we ain't going to Manhattan disturbing them, because if I go to Manhattan, the rich district, and destroy them, I get one call to the mayor's office and I'm done. So I'm going to the hood to oppress my own people. Right? To ruin brothers and sisters' lives, man. You get that doggone felony, you done. Okay? Don't let it be a drug charge. You may not get a doggone decent job never again. Huh?
Another one.
The system is set up to oppress our people. Okay? Buffoons like Jesse Lee Patterson. Okay? They can go ahead and doggone jump in the lake of fire. Okay, look, the brother can repent and he can change his ways. All right, but I'm really getting tired of our people turning a blind eye to our oppression. Okay, hey, this thing. Hey, listen, brothers and sisters. All I can tell you is to be faithful. Okay, to Yahweh. All right, be faithful to Yahweh. Why Yahweh Shai? All right, that's the Father and the Son. Keep the commandments and endure to the end, because this thing getting ready to get real ugly. This thing is getting ready to get real ugly. The scriptures prophesy of Jacob trouble. And we're not there yet. Okay? Things are starting to get bad. But remember what we got to go through. I was talking to the brother earlier, and I told him, hey, look, man, we went through chattel slavery. We went through chattel slavery. The time that's coming is like a time like no other. That time is coming, Read Jeremiah chapter 30, start at verse 7. Okay, and it's going to tell you Jacob's trouble is coming, and that time is going to be very bad for us. You need to prepare for that, not doggone bays and glory in your oppression here. Not to turn a blind eye to what's going on. All right? We're the doggone watchmen. Okay? And we're warning our people. We like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Hamashiach, Yahweh. We want you, brothers and sisters, to endure this thing until the end. Okay? Make sure you check out our other platforms. Hey, Adawan Yahweh all and a host of other brothers, okay, are going to be on tomorrow. All right, for the Sabbath class. Make sure you catch Bar for Bar. All right, on Saturday at about 11:30 Eastern Standard Time. All right, we love you, brothers and sisters. If you're in the Atlanta area, come to camp down in Woodruff Park. All right, if you're in Montgomery, Alabama, come see us down on Commerce Street. We're going to be out there Saturday. If you're in DC, the brothers gather by the big chair. I believe I'm saying it right. Okay, and I want to see you, brothers and sisters, down in Jacksonville. Okay, following week. Following week, we're going to be down in Jacksonville, Florida. Okay, Duval County. We'll be down there. We'll give you, brothers and sisters, some details on that. Come out and fellowship with us. Okay, we got brothers out in California. Okay, brother Shalimar, he sent me a video the other day. Captain Shalimar, he got a very good build. Okay, with a sister. The brother was holding it down too. I admired his patience. Okay, I admired the brother's patience. Okay, hey, brothers is doing the work. Southern Thunder. Say, you got something to say, Nassim?
Counter one. I got a precept from him as well, real quick. If you want to, you wouldn't mind bringing that out.
Bring it out, King. I got you. What you got?
I want to grab the book of Isaiah, chapter 36 and verse 6. I can read it real quick. It reads, "Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed, on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him." Right? So Adawan Shalom brought that out to the point of the fact that if we continue to trust within, of course, this kingdom, this being spiritual Egypt, right? It's going to only show it's only going to show its teeth at you, right? It's only going to pierce your hand through, like if you were to lean onto like a broken like staff, right? It's only going to hurt you the more that you try to cleave onto this wicked nation, right? So we got to come out and be a separate and come out from among their people, right? And not be a partaker of his sins. And I yield on that point.
All praise to the Most High. Any other brothers got anything to say before we get out of here?
Salaki, Adawan. I got one precept I want to bring out. It's Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 15 and verse 12. And it reads, "But they counted our life a pastime, and our time here a market for gain. For say they, we must be getting every way, though it be by evil means." Right? So they counted our life a pastime, which with slavery and how they're doing now. This is what they enjoy, persecuting us and taking advantage of our people. And they do it by means of gain, right? And they do it in evil ways. I yell out of one.
And I'm gonna tell you what, as long as we get these jokers breathing room, that's by not keeping the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments. Okay, sitting on our hands. All right. The Most High is ready for us to move. Okay, He's ready for us to move. We broke the covenants. We broke them. All right. He's waiting for us to keep the law. All right. We keep the law. We get out of it. Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. We're out.
Another one. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12 and verse 13, and it reads, "Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Yahweh and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man."
Fear God and keep his commandments, for that's the whole duty of man and woman. That's what he's waiting for us to do. Okay? You've believed in your oppressor's doctrine for this long. Guess what? We still getting shot down in the street. Try the law. Why don't you try Yahweh's way? try his way. And as you try his way, have faith in his son. He's going to come back here and save you for doing that. Come
on. Another one.
All praise to the Most High. Bahashima Mashiach, Yahweh. All right, we love you. Endure to the end. All right. Our prayer and desire that Israel be saved. Shalom.
Thank you for watching. If you would like to support the body, you can donate via Cash App, PayPal, or Zelle. We are the Sons of Thunder. It's our heart's prayer and desire for Israel that they might be saved.